Hello there, Geeks and Gamers. My name is Jesse Milestone, and I am not a Hufflepuff. You might be a Hufflepuff, and that's okay. But the reality is, so is every SJW. Every SJW, every social justice warrior is a Hufflepuff. Now, I'm not saying every Hufflepuff is a social justice warrior. That is not what I'm saying. So do not conflate my words. I'm sure some of you will anyway, because stupidity. Not everybody who's a Hufflepuff is a social justice warrior. But everyone who's a social justice warrior is a Hufflepuff, and there's a very good reason for that. So if you recall, when Harry Potter first came out, oh, what house am I, blah, 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 nobody wanted to be a Hufflepuff. Hufflepuffs are stupid. I mean, not always, but like largely. Hufflepuffs have no special characteristic of their own aside from loyalty, I think is their thing. So, you know, they're not necessarily super bright or super brave or super ambitious, but they probably make really fun friends. They're that great supporting character in your chick flick, right? In your rom-com. Supporting character in your little childhood adventure story, like Cedric Diggory, who was a Hufflepuff and worked very well in a supporting role for one film. And there's a reason for that, because Hufflepuffs are the house of you're not special. And that's fine. Look, even magical Harry Potter land needs a group of people who just aren't that special, because not everybody can be magical and be the chosen one. And you know what? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. However, there's also nothing wrong with wanting to be the special one, with wanting to be the chosen one, with wanting to be destined and meant for something more than just run-of-the-mill every day. This, however, not cool with the social justice warrior crowd, which is how you know it's actually a good thing and how you know there's nothing wrong with it. Social justice warriors hate this idea that you could be special, that somebody could be special. Because if you're special, that means that you have privilege, and privilege is a bad, dirty word. And if you have any kind of privilege whatsoever, you should die because you're evil. No, this is why over the past several years, since many years now, we're talking decades now since the books first came out, why we've gone from nobody wanting to be a Hufflepuff to freaking half the people you know are Hufflepuffs, which on the one hand, if we want to talk realism to life, makes sense. If Hufflepuff is the everybody house for the people who are not particularly remarkable, then it would stand to reason that the vast majority of unremarkable humans are Hufflepuffs, right? But here's the problem. We're not talking about all the humans. We're talking about all of the humans who are interested in Harry Potter, interested enough to find out, discuss, and talk about what house that they belong to, right? These are not your average, ordinary, run-of-the-mill people. These are people who are interested in fantasy, who are fascinated in fantasy, who want to have creative discourses about these things. So, whether or not they are, in fact, truly Hufflepuffs, they should want to be something more than that. Now, you have this ridiculousness where everyone is very complacent and letting other people make decisions for them, where they're like, the Pottermore sorted me, and I took this quiz, and it said I'm a this or I'm a that, so I must be a this or a that. Well, guess what? Are we forgetting the sorting hat takes your choice into account? If Harry Potter had not put in his opinion, he would have been a Slytherin. And I've taken tests, and most of them come up the same way, and the reality is it doesn't matter. Because even if I took 5,000 tests and they all said, Jesse, you're a Hufflepuff, like that's ever going to happen, I will always identify as a Slytherin. Because I don't need society, because this is exactly what this is. Oh, we're all Hufflepuffs. This is you allowing society to define who you are. This idea that it's somehow evil for you to try to break out of that mold and become more than that, which is so bizarre to me, because what you essentially have are social justice warriors being your high school popular kid bullies enforcing the status quo. Don't be special. Don't be different. Don't be more than or less than or other than something else. Be all the same, and that way we'll all be happy. Well, guess what? Not all of us are all the same. I couldn't be the same if I tried. I couldn't just fit in with the mold if I worked at it every single day for the rest of my life. That isn't me. That never was me. If I went to school, if I went to high school thinking, I should just try to be a Hufflepuff and be like everyone else, real talk, no exaggeration, probably would have killed myself. I probably would have committed suicide. Because one of the thoughts that kept me going, that kept me remotely sane as I grew up, was this idea that I could be something special. That I could be more than just everyone else. That I was destined for, or meant to be, or at least had the potential to become more than just everybody else. And social justice warriors don't want this. This somehow, in some weird twisted way in their mind, comes back in the feedback loop as bigotry, which is just absurd. So let's stop and think for a moment. If they get their way, and we're all Hufflepuffs, what does this world look like? Forget the world. Let's just start with creativity and storytelling. Just start with your basic storytelling, right? We don't tell the story of just everybody, every regular person. We don't go to the movies and read novels to know just the basic life that the normal person leads. We go for that something more, for that something extra, whether it's because we are just a normal everyday person longing for that little bit of extra adventure in our lives, or we are seeking that in our own lives, seeking to somehow separate ourselves and push past the mold in our own lives. So you take that away, you make every story a Hufflepuff story, and your world, your creative world goes completely flatline. Now we're just going to the movies not to escape our reality, which is such a treasure that movie making brings to us, but instead we're just going to the movies to reinforce our reality. What a sad life in which way more people are taking their own. So that's your creative world, and then you just branch that out into the rest of society, and you have the exact same thing. If we are all the same, if we're all equal, we're all special in our own unique little ways, or we're all not equally not special, where's the incentive to become more than? Where's the incentive? Where's the motivation and the reason to be the next great inventor, the next great scientist, the next great artist? Where's the incentive to grow beyond your given potential, or the potential that's prescribed to you, and become something more and better than that? It doesn't compute for me. It just doesn't compute. This idea that the most praiseworthy thing is to be just like everyone else. Where did this narrative get fun? Where do you see this reinforced in any positive storytelling? You see this in cautionary tales. You see this in Harrison Bergeron, which is an excellent Kurt Vonnegut future dystopian short story. You see this in books like 1984. You see this in many different future dystopian stories. Dystopian, key word here. This idea that if we are out and striving to be just like everyone else, no better or no worse, no different or no special, no more special than we relegate ourselves to being sheep. And we set ourselves up for being led by whatever the common herd says is good for us, even if it means straight into an electric goddamn fence. So I'm sorry, social justice warriors. I'm not a Hufflepuff. I will never be a Hufflepuff, and I'm proud to not be a Hufflepuff. I am proud to look for and want more from life. I am proud to hold myself to a different standard than other people, and I am proud to put faith in myself that I can do things, I can do great things that not everybody can do. I am proud of that fact. That drives me and it keeps me going. Are you saying you want to take that away from me? Are you saying you want to remove my basic drive to succeed and live in this world? Is that what you want? Because it's starting to feel like it is. Anyone else? Raise your hands or, comment below. Right? Anyone else feel like the intrinsic push of the social justice movement is to remove any value from your individual life? Because I'm really starting to feel that way a lot. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what house you are. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see me more than once a week, you can see me all the time over on Mindless Entertainment. Always a pleasure talking to you. I will see you guys next week. Bye.